Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk a little bit about Taiwan and Ukraine. Okay, from what I hear in the news, both of these countries are about to be invaded. Uh, China is about to invade Taiwan, and Russia is about to invade Ukraine. Okay, now I don't know if this information is true or not. I know that I cannot trust the news media, right? Furthermore, I don't know what the U.S. government's position is on this, right? Biden has taken money from both China and Ukraine, so I don't know if he's in favor of these invasions, indifferent to these invasions, um, or opposes them, right? It could go either way. Regardless of what he says, I don't believe him. Okay, so if the position that he takes, or rather the U.S. government takes, right, because he's now the head of more or less the U.S. government, if the position is that they're going to oppose it, well, good luck. I mean, go ahead, take your Democrats and go fight them, okay? Because I'm not going to go fight them because I don't trust Biden. I don't trust the government. So there's no way I'm going to fight them. I mean, forget about going to defend, Taiwan and Ukraine. I mean, I don't even think I'd go to defend Hawaii. First of all, Hawaii is a Democrat state, right? And same thing goes for New York, which is right next to me over here, right? Same thing. Why would I go defend those people that vote for Democrats? So my thing is, I defend only my house, right? I defend my house and my immediate neighbors. I am more concerned about the threat from the socialists in this country here. I cannot concern myself with socialists, on the other side of the planet. Okay, so that's my personal position. Now, if Ukraine and Taiwan want to maintain their freedom and their independence, there's a easy solution for them, right? Not easy, but there's a solution for them. They need to individually arm their citizens. Okay, each of the citizens needs to have 3 guns. Okay, and I say 3 guns because they need to have 3 guns so that they can hide them in different places. If those countries are invaded, as the invaders come through, they're going to search houses. So you can hide some guns. So if you got 3 guns, you can hide one in your house. You can hide one, let's say, in the sewer or underground, or a little further out in the woods. Whatever the terrain is that you're in. But you need 1 gun in your house where you have quick access to, and you got to be able to hide at least 2 other guns outside of your house. And then same thing. They need at least, for each gun, they need at least. Actually, let's just say they need 1,000 rounds of ammo to split up between those 3 guns, right? So wherever they hide the guns, they're gonna hide the ammo. This all has to be done prior to the invasion. After the invasion happens, it's too late. Once they get those guns, they need to be told, okay, here's a couple of areas that we have set up so that you can go and practice, right? Get familiar with the guns, all right? So prior to an invasion, they need a place to go and practice. As far as the armies, the national armies, that, let's say, the army of Taiwan and the army of Ukraine, this is not something that China or Russia fear or respect in any way. Both the Taiwanese army and the Ukrainian army would be rendered combat ineffective within 2 weeks. Okay, what that means is that they may not completely destroy the army, but they're gonna break them up in such a way that they got small pockets of the army maybe working in isolation. They're not going to be in a position where they're able to really fight the invaders. Basically, they might resort to some guerrilla tactics, right? But here's the thing, having the remnants of these armies, right, whatever's left over, performing the guerrilla tactics is not enough. What they need is the entire population of those countries performing those guerrilla tactics. Okay, to me, I think this is a great deterrent, right? To an invading army, right? If an invading army looks at, let's say, Russia looks at the Ukrainian army, and they make an estimate. Okay, they got so many people in their army. The Ukrainians have so many tanks, so much artillery, so many airplanes. They can estimate what the size of the Ukrainian army is. They can estimate what the size of the Taiwanese army is, and they can basically come up with a plan, right? Because now they're dealing with known factors. If if they believe that the entire population is armed, now they're dealing with an entirely unknown factor. Okay, which part of the population is going to fight? Okay, which part? Where the guns hidden. Uh, is it ever going to be safe in that country, right? Because maybe, they go in, things seem peaceful. Come up a couple months later, they basically start seeing resistance. So now they're dealing with a huge unknown factor. So that is the only way that these two small countries, Ukraine and Taiwan, can defend themselves and basically prevent an invasion from China and Russia is by arming the entire population so that there's this deterrent. Now, what guns should they pick? They probably should pick the gun that they have the most access to. They can they have access to ammunition, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's going to be AKs, maybe it's ARs, right? Because basically, maybe they've been getting a lot of support from the American government in the past, and they already have some ARs and they have ammo. Maybe it's 9mm, right? Because 9mm is very universal, right? And you can have both pistols and rifles that shoot 9mm. So I don't know the answer to that. They gotta look at their situation and decide which gun and which caliber is going to be the easiest for them to have access to and to spread to the most number of people in their population, and basically stick with that one type of gun and with that one caliber. This way, people can supply each other. They can support each other. One guy, runs out of ammo. The other guy runs out of guns. They can kind of swap. Especially if they got extra guns, extra ammo. That's the approach that I think they need to take. But I think it's absolutely wrong for either of these countries to think that they can depend on the United States to defend them. Just look at Afghanistan, right? You see how quickly Biden walked out on that. Basically ran out on that, right? And also from the perspective of the American people, hey, we got our own problems here. We got communists here in this country we got to worry about. We can't worry about communists on the other side of the planet, okay? So Taiwan and Ukraine are on their own, okay? Now is the time for them to make preparations. Trying to prepare their armies is working in the wrong direction. I don't care how much they prepare their armies are never going to be in a position where they can fight back the Chinese or fight back the Russian armies, okay? They're never going to be in a position that the only thing they can do is arm their population so that the people are in a position to fight the invaders on a continuing basis for decades, right? The invaders have to believe that this invasion would be too expensive for them, not just monetarily, but both in personnel and in effort. That's the only way that they're going to prevent an invasion. So those are my thoughts on that. Hope you guys found this interesting. Drop some comments below. If you're not a member of my channel, subscribe. Hit that bell button for notifications. I'll talk to you guys soon.